5-year jail term for Khalida Zia in Zia Orphanage Trust corruption case verdict. Tyranny gets punished, comments Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina in Barisal public meeting. Prime Minister urges armed forces to stay alert against internal and external threats as she commissions newly built Sheikh Hasina cantonment. Parliament members term Zia Orphanage Trust case verdict as victory of justice. "100 Syrian government soldiers killed in US-led coalition forces attack." And in Dhaka Test, Bangladesh trailing Sri Lanka by 166 runs as Tigers score 56, losing 4 wickets. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to News at 10 on BTV, BTV World and BTV Chittagong Centre. I am Roya Zabin.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm Mahmoudur Rahman. Those were the headlines. We'll move on now to the details. The special court set up at Bokshi Bazar in the capital has awarded Begum Khalida Zia 5 years imprisonment in the Zia Orphanage Trust graft case. The rest of the convicts, including Tariq Rahman, got 10 years imprisonment. The court also fined them 2,10,71,671 taka. Judge Dr. Akhtaruzzaman of Dhaka Special Judge Court 5 pronounced the verdict today. Quoting the court, our correspondent said, though all of the convicts were entitled to the same punishment, Begum Khalida Zia was given less considering her social and physical status. On the 3rd of July 2008, Anti-Corruption Commission ACC filed Zia Orphanage Trust graft case against Begum Khalida Zia and 5 others. On 19th March 2014, charges were framed against them. The trial against the charge sheet started on the 22nd of September 2014. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has described BNP chief Khalida Zia's punishment as natural consequences of her past deeds, particularly her role in burning to death innocent people in the name of political campaign in 2013-15. The Premier was addressing a public rally at Bangabandhu Uddan in Borishal today. Sheikh Hasina added, the reign of brutality unleashed by Khalida even shook the throne of the Almighty, so her conviction was very much natural. Sheikh Hasina said in 2015, Khalida Zia declared that she would not return home without toppling the Awami League government, and to make this happen, she opted for brutal violence sitting in her office. Sheikh Hasina said, being a political party with its roots among people, Awami League always took forward the country and wondered if the foundation laying of 39 projects in Borishal would ever have been possible had Awami League not been in power. The government wants to build an enlightened generation to build the future leaders of the nation, she said. Urging people to cast their votes for the candidates of Awami League in the next general election, the Prime Minister said the continuation of the government is crucial for continued development. Bangladesh would celebrate the golden jubilee of its independence in 2021 and Bangabandhu's birth centenary in 2020 as a prosperous nation, she said. Sheikh Hasina said her government never gave indulgence to the wrongdoers, killers and militants. She urged the guardians, teachers, religious leaders to protect their children from becoming militant or terrorist. Bangladesh is a role model of development in the world in every socio-economic area. The country is progressing fast. Bangladesh would not beg to others. Bangladesh would stand on its own feet as a victorious nation, she said. The Prime Minister announced construction of medical colleges in Borishal and other divisional headquarters. Bangladesh Awami League Borishal district unit organized the rally after she opened a new cantonment in Potuakhali and 39 development projects in Borishal. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has directed Bangladesh Army to uphold democracy and the Constitution and make more contributions to the public welfare-oriented activities. She also asked the members of Bangladesh Army to keep a constant vigil to face any external and external threats for safeguarding the country's constitution and sovereignty. The Prime Minister was addressing the inaugural function of the newly established Sheikh Hasina cantonment on the bank of the Paira River at Lebukhali in Potuakhali today. At the same function, the Prime Minister hoisted the national standard of the ad hoc headquarters of 7th Infantry Division of Bangladesh Army. The Premier inspected a spectacular parade of the Army contingents on the occasion and took state salute from a decorated dais. In her speech, Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina expressed her firm optimism that this cantonment will be the most beautiful and effective cantonment of Bangladesh. The Prime Minister said her government took various measures for turning professional armed forces into world-standard modern forces, which are inspired with the spirit of the Great War of Liberation. To modernize and make the force time-befitting, she said modern vehicles, helicopters and arms and ammunition have been inducted into it. The Prime Minister said the Patriotic Army has earned overall acceptability thanks to its integrity, work efficiency and various public service-oriented activities. Sheikh Hasina said Bangladesh is now a brand name in maintaining peace in the UN peacekeeping missions, which is a matter of pride for the country.
Rule of law has been established through the verdict of Zia Orphanage Trust graft case in the country. Members of the Parliament told this while taking part in the point of order discussion in Parliament today. Earlier, the sitting of the House resumed this afternoon with Speaker Dr. Shirin Sharmin Chaudhry in the chair. Members of the Parliament termed the verdict of Zia Orphanage Trust graft case as a historical verdict. Parliament members told the House that it has been proved that nobody is above the law. But the BNP activists attacked Bangladesh High Commission in UK and vandalized pictures, damaging Bangladesh's image abroad. They told the House that the right of the orphans have been established through the verdict. Parliament members told the House that now Begum Khalida Zia is suffering the consequence. They told the Jatiya সংসদ that the people of the country will remember this historical verdict in the days to come. They also told the House that government did not interfere in the trial. Parliament members told the House that the whole life of Begum Khalida Zia is full of falsehood and corruption. Meanwhile, in the question and answer session, Finance Minister Abul Mal Abdul Muhid told the House that the current number of income taxpayers in the country stands at 18,50,000. Replying to a question, Liberation War Affairs Minister told the Parliament that initiative has been taken to publish the lists of Rajakar, Al-Badr and persons who committed crime against humanity. Later, a general discussion was held on Thanksgiving motion on President's speech. The sitting of the House will resume in the afternoon tomorrow. A delegation of National Human Rights Commission NHRC, led by its chairman Qazi Riazul Haq, submitted the annual report 2016 of the Commission to President Mohammad Abdul Hamid at Bongo Bhavan today. After the meeting, President's Press Secretary Join Al-Abidin briefed reporters. During the meeting, NHRC chairman apprised the President of various aspects of the report and overall activities of the Commission. President Mohammad Abdul Hamid urged the National Human Rights Commission to discharge duties with utmost sincerity and honesty to protect the rights of mass people at all stages. The President assured of his all-out cooperation to carry out the Commission's activities smoothly. Secretaries to the President were present. Awami League General Secretary and Road Transport and Bridges Minister Obaidul Qadir has said that BNP had tried their best to create instability, making the verdict of Zia Orphanage Trust corruption case an issue. But law enforcing agencies successfully foiled their conspiracy. He said this while expressing reaction about the verdict in Khaleda Zia's corruption case at Dhanmondi in the capital this evening. Awami League central leaders were present on the occasion. Obaidul Qadir said law enforcing agencies will take stern action if anyone tries to create anarchy. Awami League will face political programs through political activities, he added. The Awami League General Secretary also said that there is no scope of merriment as the court pronounced a verdict to Begum Khaleda Zia, not the government.
Law, Justice and Parliamentary Affairs Minister Anisul Haq has said the court's verdict in Zia Orphanage Trust graft case proved that none is above the law. Responding to media queries on the verdict, the Law Minister said at the Secretariat that the judgment was a significant success in combating corruption in the country. Regarding Khaleda's participation in the next national elections, the Law Minister said the Supreme Court and Election Commission will decide on the issue. Meanwhile, Home Minister Asaduzzaman Khan Kamal said BNP chairperson Begum Khaleda Zia has been sent to the old central jail at Nazimuddin Road in the capital. He said this to the journalists at a press briefing at his Secretariat office today. The Home Minister said, as the Honourable Judge has given the verdict in the Zia Orphanage Trust case, the government have taken necessary steps in this regard. He also said the law enforcement agencies are always alert and they have all-out preparations to maintain law and order in the country. Jashot President and Information Minister Hassanul Haq Inu has urged BNP not to create instability through violence and subversive activities following the verdict of Zia Orphanage Trust corruption case. He said court awarded punishment to a corrupt person. Political identity cannot be considered in law. Hassanul Haq Inu expressed his opinion in a reaction on the verdict of Zia Orphanage Trust corruption case. He said BNP has scope to go to the High Court about the verdict. There is no relation between Khaleda Zia's punishment and the next general election, he added. Now some international news. The US has carried out rare airstrikes on Syrian pro-government forces after what it called an unprovoked attack on allied Kurdish and Arab fighters. US officials estimated that 100 pro-government fighters were killed in the incident on Wednesday. Today morning, Syrian state media reported that the US-led coalition had bombed popular forces fighting IS and SDF forces east of the river Euphrates, denouncing what they called a new aggression and an attempt to support terrorism. The middle Euphrates River Valley serves as an informal demarcation line in eastern Syria, with the government controlling the western side and the SDF the east. The Syrian Observatory for Human Rights, a UK-based monitoring group, confirmed there had been an attack on SDF positions near the town of Kusham, 10 kilometers southeast of Deir al-Zur city, and put the death toll at about 20.
Back to national news. The government has announced names of 21 eminent citizens for awarding prestigious Ekushe Podok for 2018 for their contribution in their respective fields. The official release from the Cultural Ministry disclosed the names of the recipients today. The recipients of the Ekushe Podok are A.Z.M. Taqiyullah Posthumous and Professor Dr. Mirza Mazharul Islam for the language movement, and Sheikh Sadiq Khan, Shujoy Sham, Indra Mohan Rajbanshi, Khurshid Alam and Motiul Haq Khan for music. Minu Haq and Humayun Faridi, posthumous for dance and acting respectively, while Nikhil Sen, Kalidas Karmakar and Ghulam Mustafa got the award for drama, fine arts and photography. Ranish Moitro and Professor Julekha Haq, posthumous, and Dr. Mainul Islam won the award for journalism, research and economics respectively, while they announced the name of Ilyas Kanchan for social service. Syed Manzurul Islam, Saiful Islam Khan, poet Hayat Saif, Shubrata Borua, Robiul Hussain and Khalik Chaudhry got the award for language and literature. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina will visit Rome, the capital of Italy, and Vatican City from February 12 to 14 next to attend the annual Governing Council meeting of Rome-based International Fund for Agricultural Development, IFAD. The Prime Minister and members of her entourage will leave Dhaka for Rome on February 11 next and return home on February 15. Foreign Minister A.H. Mahmood Ali said this at a press briefing in the capital today. At an invitation of Pope Francis, the Premier will visit the Holy Vatican City on February 12, where she will hold a meeting with Pope Francis. Sheikh Hasina will attend the 40th founding anniversary program of IFAD on February 13 at the invitation of IFAD President Gilbert F. Hongbo. She will present a keynote paper at the inaugural session of the Governing Council meeting. Health and Family Welfare Minister Mohammad Naseem has said that Awami League never does politics of vengeance, as the party had undergone maximum suffering in the past. He said this at the inauguration of the 10th Asian Pharma Expo 2018 in the capital today. Bangladesh Pharmaceuticals Industries Association Senior Vice President Harunur Rashid chaired the function, while Association General Secretary S.M. Shafiuzaman, Director General Drug Administration Major General Muhammad Mustafizur Rahman and State Minister for Health Zahid Malik spoke among others. Mohammad Naseem said Awami League wants a competitive election with participation of all.
Now some sports news. Bangladesh are trailing Sri Lanka by 166 runs in the first innings at stumps of day one of the second test of the two-match series at Mirpur today. At the end of the day, the Tigers had scored 56 for 4 in their first innings. Liton Das and Mehdi Hassan Miraj were at the crease with 24 and 5 runs respectively. Earlier, Sri Lanka won the toss and decided to bat first. They were dismissed for 222 in their first innings. Abdur Razak and Taijul Islam bagged 4 wickets each, while Mustafizur Rahman took 2 for Bangladesh. And to wind up, here once again are the headlines. 5-year jail term for Khaleda Zia in Zia Orphanage Trust corruption case verdict. Tyranny gets punished, comments Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina in Borishal public meeting. Prime Minister urges armed forces to stay alert against internal and external threats as she commissions newly built Sheikh Hasina cantonment. Parliament members term Zia Orphanage Trust case verdict as victory of justice. "100 Syrian government soldiers killed in US-led coalition forces attack." And in the Dhaka Test, Bangladesh trails Sri Lanka by 166 runs as the Tigers score 56, losing 4 wickets.
That's all from the newsroom for the moment. Thank you for staying with us. We invite you to watch our 11:30 Bangla News. Until then, Khuda Hafiz.